Welcome to another weekly GMBN Tech Show. Coming up on this week's show, well, it's actually New Year's Eve, so what we're going to do this week is do something a little bit different. We're going to have a look back at some of the coolest stuff, the coolest tech, and the best moments we've had in 2018. We're going to be looking at what's coming in 2019, it's some very cool stuff. And we're also looking at some of the very best rewind, bike cave, and top mods from you guys. Okay, so a little bit of a different start to the show. So 2018 has been a huge year for us here at GMBN Tech. Of course, we only started in January, and recently we've soared past 100,000 subscribers. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for clicking that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot. And what it does mean is it's going to enable us to do so much more in 2019. I'm genuinely so excited about what we're going to be doing next year. But speaking of which, if there's anything in particular you want to see us do here, and anything mountain bike tech related, it could be maintenance stuff, it could be digging into bike brands, like literally anything, call it out. Let us know in those comments. Alternatively, you can email us. Email address is on the screen right there, hellotech@gmbn.com. Let us know. We want to make the content that you want to see, so get cracking. So this year has been exceptionally good for tech, not just because the channel launched, but there's been some amazing stuff. And we've been lucky enough to go to a lot of cool World Cup rounds. Eurobike was amazing for tech this year. I'm just going to throw you to some of my favourite moments from 2018. We are at Eurobike 2018, Sea Otter Classic here in Monterey, Nova Mesto. Welcome to Stellenbosch in South Africa. Come on me if you want to see it. Basically, they're gonna start sealing up. What are they gonna seal up, you Burke? Cool. You're gonna have a really good reel of me swearing and stuff, aren't you?
I'm slowly compiling.
See if I'm doing hot. I'm going in.
Oh my! What happened?
You haven't seen one of these before, have you? It's a very happy ending for this tyre. Yeah, that was a bit of a fail, wasn't it? So there you go, that's everything you really need to know about how to look after and maintain your waterproof and breathable jackets. For a couple more videos on this sort of stuff. Oh, thanks for that.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry I didn't think about it.
No, I was still rolling with that.
Oh.
You ruined it by talking. That was perfect.
Oh.
That was perfect, but now I'm actually soaked. For f***'s sake, Dan. I'm joking. Absolute wizardry. Just look at the thing. Sorry, I was fighting that back for ages. Burke. Right, okay. And of course, next year, 2019, is going to be even better. It's actually ridiculous, the amount of cool stuff that is looming on the horizon. I mean, personally, the thing I'm most excited about seeing next year, well, I say next year, I'm thinking it might be next year, is the SRAM wireless stuff, the black box stuff that we've been seeing on Nino Schurter's bike all year. We've seen it being refined through the year. We've now seen it on other racers' bikes. And although they say it's still at the black box stage, it looks way closer to production. I really do think that we might be seeing this stuff in 2019. I think quite soon as well. So I really got my fingers crossed on that because I'm so excited to see what happens. I mean, Shimano have got Di2 with the cable operated stuff on the inside. Cables are fantastic, but I love the wireless system. I love the fact you can change a mech without having to interfere with any wires or anything. And what I've heard from some of the development riders is how silent the system is, because there's simply no cables to rattle. Something that you and I might not know because we're used to having cables and you just take it for granted. But I'm genuinely excited to see what's going to come out of SRAM in 2019. So hurry up guys, don't leave us waiting. Something else that I'm particularly looking forward to actually is the different wheel sizes thing. So we've already seen on a few production bikes, let's just use that Canyon for example on their e-bike, they've got 29-inch front wheel and a 27.5-inch rear wheel. Now previously in competition, the UCI stated it didn't matter what wheel size you were running, but there had to be the same wheels front and rear. Now, as we know, this is actually a really old school rule that's come from the world of road cycling where there might have been an aero advantage to running a smaller front wheel. Basically, you're minimising your frontal impact there to for wind resistance reasons. And of course, on a mountain bike, we know that it's not really going to be any sort of advantage in those terms. But what it does mean is people can have the advantage of having that bigger front wheel if they want that, which means they're going to get more stability up front, more sort of rock ploughing prowess there. And also it means you can have a smaller rear wheel on the back, so the option could be to run a plus size tyre for example. You can get really heavy duty sort of mid to plus size tyres, 2.6 to 2.8s. It also means you can have more clearance out back, which as we know with 29-inch wheels on downhill bikes with up to 220mm of travel, it's actually a bit of a problem on some frame designs and certainly for some of the smaller riders. So could it be the best of both worlds coming? I expect you're going to see this across the board a bit more. You're going to see racers experimenting with this in various different disciplines. So we know that our friends at Mojo, Chris Porter in particular, he's been experimenting with a bigger front wheel and a smaller front wheel for a couple of years now, and I think there are definitely some benefits to be had. I know Neil did a video last year over on GMBN on exactly this, but I definitely intend on doing some own testing to figure this stuff out a bit, because I think you're going to see quite a bit of it. So definitely looking forward to that. More internal dropper posts, please. BMC, thank you for doing it absolutely perfectly on the 4-stroke. If you haven't seen this bike, well firstly, the 4-stroke in itself is just a blindingly nice looking bike. Cross-country bike, but I think it looks much more reminiscent of old 4-cross bikes, but just obviously big enough and light enough to ride all day in a cross-country environment. Integrated dropper post, it just looks amazing. There's no reason to not have one on a bike when it looks that good and it's that light. I do think you're going to see this coming from more manufacturers in future, but I do think everyone needs to pull their finger out a bit and get on with it because it does look amazing. Hats off to BMC for doing that first, well, not necessarily doing it first, but doing it first right. So nice one, guys. I'm also going to use BMC as an example here for where cross-country bikes are going. We're seeing them slowly getting a bit more aggressive, a little bit longer, a little bit slacker, a little bit lower, a little bit stiffer. He's starting to see this characteristic in the courses as well. So as the courses advance and get more technical and demanding, bike manufacturers have to return that so the riders can retain the control that they need in those demanding environments. And I'm really excited what they can do. I've always loved cross country, but I think it kind of lost its way a few years back when it went a little bit too road orientated. It was more about the laps than it was about the bikes and then the technical courses, and now it seems like a firm return to really good, aggressive, fast-paced riding on gnarly courses, and to do that well you need good bikes. That BMC again I just think is absolutely stunning, but there's loads of other nice looking bikes out there, and of course this year we've seen a lot of 100mm travel bikes appearing that aren't necessarily cross-country race bikes, but they're fit for purpose. I'm thinking like the Yeti SB100 or the Betty version. I'm thinking bikes like the Intense Sniper. I'm thinking bikes like the Santa Cruz Blur even. Nearly forgot the name of that one there. But you get where I'm going. These are like tough bikes. They're trail bikes, but they're cross-country weight. So you're going to be able to tear the ass out of a cross-country race course on a bike that's fit for purpose, genuinely fit for purpose and attractive to ride. I just think you're going to see such a boom in 100mm travel bikes and cross-country racing. We already know from Red Bull stats that cross-country for the first time in years has been viewed more or nearly as much as downhill, and that's going to increase. The cross-country racing I was lucky enough to see this year was by far the most exciting bike racing I've ever seen, and I can't wait for 2019. And also taking a tip from those more aggressive 100mm bikes, you're going to see a lot more sort of mid-travel bikes. I'm talking about like the 130, 140mm region. Now, when these first came out on the scene and they were getting popular on the 26-inch wheel thing, they were kind of like overlooked when we got to 27.5 and 29, but I reckon you're going to see a lot more of them popping up in 2019. And for me, that's really the sort of bike that I would want to ride in place of a sort of 150, 160 bike. I'd be happy with 130 out back and maybe up to a 150 fork on the front. I just think you're just going to get such good performance out of it in, well, certainly in a terrain that I ride, but you can see the advantages in a lot of areas. And I think you're going to see a lot of these sort of bikes. Sometimes I think less is more. And I reckon 2019 will definitely be going that way. Now, for a little while, e-bikes have been the elephant in the room, but it's safe to say that e-bikes finally are becoming more accepted, which is a damn good job because they're really, really good. And especially now as battery technology, the batteries are getting smaller and lighter, but having longer range on them. Bikes like that, Specialized, phenomenal looking. We already know there's a few other secret bikes on the horizon that will be dropping in 2019, and I can't wait to see the reaction from you guys when you see these bikes, because I think the grounds between e-bikes and regular mountain bikes is going to become very, very close. And I think as a reflection of that, I'm going to be working a lot more directly with EMBN, because I reckon there's a lot of tech similarities in the stuff that's going to be coming out in 2019. Let's just say I know a few things that are coming that I can't tell you about just yet, but I think you're definitely going to like them. And yeah, I've got an e-bike coming. I'm not going to tell you which one. Wait and see. Finally, the last thing we're starting to see already at the end of 2018, but we're definitely going to see it continuing in 2019, is transmissions appearing from different manufacturers that are not the major players, i.e. not Shimano and not SRAM. We've already seen some really cool looking stuff from Box Components. Of course, that was on the bike build that we gave away to Evo from Slovakia. And we're also seeing some other stuff popping up on Aaron Gwynn's bike, the rumoured TLP transmission on there, downhill transmission. There's also going to be all sorts of other brands popping up on the scene. So keep your eyes peeled in 2019 for some exciting new mechanical transmissions. Well, there you go. That's the stuff I'm really looking forward to seeing in 2019. What are you looking forward to seeing? Let us know in those comments below. What was your favourite thing in 2018? What do you want to see in 2019? And again, what do you want us to make in 2019? Let us know. Maintenance videos, factory tours, you name it. Get it in those comments and I'll see if we can make it happen. Alright, so now it's time for one of our regular spots. This is Bike Cave. Bike Cave, of course, is the place where you keep your bike, where you work on your bike, where you give it a bit of TLC, give it a bit of lube when it needs it, and you tuck it up and lock it up at night. This year we've had some fantastic entries from everyone. I'm so stoked on this. It's something that I love because I've built my own bike cave this year, and I can tell that you lot love bike caves too. Please continue to take pictures of your bike caves and to work on your own bike caves. Whatever area it is you've got to work on your bike, it really doesn't matter. If it's somewhere to store your bike, it counts as a bike cave. So please take some photos of your bike cave, tell us all about it, and use that uploaded link right there on the screen, and we'll put you on the show. We'd love to have you guys on the show. So I'm just going to throw you now to some of my personal favourites from this year. So first up is from Davis in South Africa. Now this is a really, really clean setup. Probably the ideal setup. I note the custom Specialized in the corner there. It's a very, very nice. I'd say if I had a double garage, that would be the sort of setup I would have. I think it looks really, really smart. Next up, I've got to say this one is from Ica in Mexico. Absolutely incredible. This is more like a bike art gallery. I would live in this place. Genuinely, I would live in this place. Look at it. It's massive. There's so much space in there. His kitchen in his bike cave is bigger than the kitchen of my house. It's ridiculous. And I can't believe how nice it is. And it's just what a stunning use of space. I think you've done an amazing job. And I guess that really is that sort of the Grand Designs equivalent of a bike cave. Dude, it looks amazing. If anyone else has got something coming on like that, let us know. Send them in. We really want to see them. But it's not always about that. It's really important to use the space you have. So Leo in Sydney here, I love what you've done using the sort of the void, I guess, behind your bed here. Great work. It looks really cool as well. And it just goes to the point that, you know, any home for your bike counts as a bike cave. I love the fact that you could sleep in your bed and look at your bike as well. I think it's really cool. Next up, Andrew in Glasgow. This is wicked because essentially it's just a garden shed. but a really posh one. So garden sheds, of course, they're very, very cool. And this is just like a deluxe garden shed. Love it. I think it's really cool, totally realistic and really achievable as well, actually. It looks good. I've got a builder shed actually, and I can sort of see it being like a bit of an extension to my bike cave. But I'll keep you posted on that one when I get that far. Now this one is one I'm particularly jealous of, I've got to say. This is from one of my friends who works for SRAM. Now look at this setup. This is just amazing. I mean, admittedly, this is his proper workshop. So this is where he does suspension tuning. So he does the marketing stuff for SRAM. You can tell by the logos and stuff in there, but look how cool this is. He's had this like spec'd out as he wants. And he's got his trials motorbike sat there on a log. Man, it's just, it looks awesome. I think that's a dream setup right there. Absolutely bitching, dude. Looks awesome. That was Alex, my mate from SRAM, by the way. Next up, check this one out. So this one is from Rob Klein in Indiana. Look at this. This is more like a bar, like a bike-friendly bar than it is a place to keep your bike. It's just like, look at it. You've got an actual bar in there and you've got all this cool setup. Just looks fantastic. What a cool hangout area that you can also work on bikes. Brilliant. Although this one was recent, I've got to put a little clip of this video entry, and this is from Harry and his wife in Canada. From the ground up, they built this place to be, in fact, I think she built most of this, his wife built most of this, to be their bike cave. Look at it, it's like a miniature house. Absolutely amazing. I loved there's a video entry as well. I would love to see more video entries. I want to get to know you guys from the video stuff that you send me. You feel like you probably know me a little bit just because of my bike nerdery. Show and tell, show us your bike caves, do some video entries, we want to see them. And finally, I've got to say, this is a really, really cool idea, and I do love this. And someone since then has suggested burying one of these in a lawn and having like an underground bike cave. Be like, that'd be cool. Doing a shipping container in the back garden. So look at this one. So this is from Alan Cross, and this is wicked. Look how cool this is. A shipping container turned into a bike cave. Nice and secure as well. Put massive locks on this thing and lock all your stuff inside, and it looks mega. It's really good. Maybe I don't want a garden shed. Maybe I want to dig a massive hole in the garden and sink a container in instead. That would be an idea. And now it's time for Rewind. Everyone knows I love retro bike gear. We've got the old retro camelback, we've got those pace forks over there, the original Troy Lee Edge helmet over there. I love this stuff. And I think that you guys might like it too, judging by the amount of entries we get with really cool old bikes and bike gear. Please continue to send them in. If you've got a friend that's got some old retro stuff, get them to send it in, or alternatively, get off your ass and take some photos of their stuff yourself and send it in. We want to see retro stuff. We love retro mountain bike stuff. So send it in, upload a link is right there, nice and easy. Super easy, self-explanatory, write some details about what you're sending in, or even if you don't know about those details, ask, and I shall tell you. Like, I love it, I love nerding out on this stuff. So, there's been some exceptionally good, I mean, to be fair, most of them have been really good, but there's been some exceptionally good ones in here, so I'm just going to run you through some of my favourites from the year. Now, this one is from Trevor Nelson. This is an Allsop soft ride stem, so a suspension stem. So, I've got here on my desk a Gervin flex stem. This was alright. This is kind of like the Ford Escort of the stem world. We jumped straight up to a Porsche Cayman with the Allsop soft ride. Look at this bad boy. It's like a parallelogram stem, looked insane, and it matched up with the actual carbon fibre soft ride beam that you had on the bikes, which looked absolutely horrific, I have to say, but the stem, they look really cool. I remember Thomas Frishant used to run one of those on his Ritchie P20, P23, P21, whatever it was, P20 something. What an awesome looking stem, really cool to still see that. This next one, this is really cool. So Andrew Justkis, who aka AJ, works for Giant Bikes. This is AJ, and check it out. Right, so this guy was massive, like he's like 6'5" or something like that. And look at the little bike he's got, it's hilarious. So this is a Slingshot. Now this bike is, I think they're absolutely beautiful, but they're terrifying as well. So they work unlike any other bike. At the back of the top tube, just before the seat tube, is an elastomer, so basically a shock, a small shock. And the down tube is a tensioned cable. When you hit a bump, the bike effectively shrinks and the cable pulls it back again, so it slingshots you through stuff. Imagine a bike with a wheelbase that changes like that as you're riding through a rock garden. Like, mental, absolutely mental, but beautiful at the same time. Now I found out a good friend of mine, Russ, he's actually got one of these in almost box fresh condition. So I think I have to try and take it out for a bike ride at some point soon, and we'll do a rewind special on that bike. Something we're going to take onto the channel in 2019 is moving some of the elements from the show out into the channel, and we're going to be doing some individual videos based on this stuff, so keep an eye out for that stuff. Oh, and just look at this one. So this is an old Specialized cycling helmet. I used to have this helmet, so they were all like polystyrene helmets and they used to have a lycra cover over them. There was the black and blue one and the black and red one, and you look like the Magic Mushroom from Super Mario Brothers. Awful, awful looking helmets, but really, it was a great bit of design because this is what led to the micro shell helmets with the micro shell over the top that we currently use today. Come a long way since then. Thank you, Darren White, for sending that in. What a helmet. And finally, the Tioga disc drive. There's not much more iconic retro things than the Tioga disc drive, is there? It's a tension disc. It of course replaced the spokes on a bike. Kevlar geodesic webbing connecting it effectively enabled a little bit of travel out of the rear wheel to absorb some minor impacts and buzz on the trail, give you a bit more traction, but most importantly it looked cool as hell and it sounded amazing. It had a really distinct rumble as you're riding down the hill. Let everyone know that you spent 500 quid on a rear wheel essentially that was probably going to break by the end of the run. Thank you to Regan for sending that one in. I think, look at that, what a beautiful example of one. I really want one as well. I'm happy to buy one of these, so if anyone out there has one for sale, I'd love to buy it and hang it up on the wall on the set. Actually, just speaking about this stuff, if anyone has any cool retro stuff or anything that you think would look cool on the set here at GMBN Tech, let us know, take some photos, or if you fancy, send it in. It's easy to find our address. And now it's time for top mods. So this is where you modify your bikes. All the little tiny things you can do to your bikes and your kit to make them a bit different to the ones you buy in the shops, or more importantly, a bit different to your friends' bikes. Whatever it is, it honestly doesn't matter how big or how small, whatever it is you've done to your bike to make it a bit different, that is a top mod. And we want to see your top mod. So take some photos, tell us what you've done, use our uploader, it's on the bottom of the screen again, right there, and send them in. Keep modifying your bikes. It really is, it defines your bike and you together. Get it done. So this year we've had some awesome ones, and the first one I'm going to show you isn't even a bike. This is a multi-tool. A friend of mine was fed up basically having to carry multi-tool and keys and loads of other stuff. So he took off one of the components on a multi-tool. I think it was a tyre lever in this case that he never used. Machined his key down, put a hole through it, and put his key on there. Look at that. So a multi-tool hack. That is amazing, genuinely amazing, really good, and I actually want to do that one myself. I think that's wicked. Next up, check this out. So it looks like a bit of a hollow bottom bracket axle at a glance. Oh, not anymore. Can you see what he's done? So this is from Jacques Fez Arif, a custom bung for the bottom bracket to keep one of those tyre stabby things with the little worms on there to seal up your tubeless holes, and using that void in your bottom bracket axle. What a fantastic idea. That is a that's a hack, really. That is absolutely brilliant. It's even better than the top mod because it wasn't something that existed in the first place. Someone needs to make those. That's really cool. And I don't know why I haven't tried to make one off the back of this. It's kind of like a samurai sword for your bottom bracket axle. Absolutely fantastic. Well done. Thanks for sending it in, sharing the love. This one is really cool. This is from Jasper Goff. So this one wasn't even for him. This was for his other half's bike. So not only did he modify a bike, give it a bit of love, check out these custom decals for the forks he did. The custom graphics. Looks so cool. What a wicked idea. And totally individual, totally different to anyone else's bike. Totally amazing. I think that's a great modification. Just a sticker. All it takes, but a little bit of creative thought. Really cool. Love seeing this, and these are all so different. That's what's so cool about it. Some people have done complete bike rebuilds, some people have painted their own bikes, some people have made bikes. So like this one here from Justin Dyer. He designed and made his own frame from scratch. Wow, absolutely blown away by this. This is so cool. It's something that I really want to do at some point. I've just not got around to it. I've designed frames in the past and I've done stuff like that, but I've never actually built anything myself. I just think this is amazing. Fair play. Like sheer persistence and ingenuity to actually craft a bike yourself from scratch. The CAD design, all the pencil drawing, everything, the whole stages. Wow. And look at these pictures, awesome pictures as well. So I really appreciate you taking these photos and taking us through your little design journey here. Wicked. How does it ride, by the way? If you're watching this now, let us know. I'd love to know. Maybe if you could send us a little video clip of yourself riding and tell us a bit more about yourself. I'd love to feature you on the show again because I think this is really cool. Way to go. Really, really cool. Thank you. And thank you to everyone for sending in your modifications. Keep doing it, please. Video entries, whatever you want to send in, I genuinely love it, and I think it's really cool because we want to inspire more people to work on their bikes and enjoy it and have fun. You don't want to be the same as everyone else, do you? Make your bike different. That's what's so cool about it. So there we go. That is the last show of 2018. It's New Year's Eve. I've already got my New Year's resolutions, and that is basically to ride my bike more, get really fit and strong in 2019 because I've had more time building my house and building my own bike cave this year than I have out on the trail. So 2019, I'm going to do loads more riding content and loads more cool stuff on GMBN. What are your New Year's resolutions? Anything tech related for us to know about? Let us know in those comments. In the meantime, Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you have an amazing New Year's Eve. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll catch you in the new year. Please don't forget to give us a massive thumbs up if you love GMBN Tech. Hit that subscribe button. There's a couple more great videos there. In the meantime, I'm off to have a house party now. Happy New Year, guys.